Hello and welcome to From Garden to Plate. I am Alice Erickson, the creator of this channel on YouTube. I have 20 years of experience of gardening, and I have gone from pots to raised beds, and therefore I have tried every trick out there. So what I teach you will absolutely give you the best yield in your garden. I also like to take preserved items from the bounty of the harvest and utilize it into everyday delicious meals. My goal is to inspire you how to become an absolutely amazing organic gardener and how to become a house chef. If you pay attention to my simple steps in between when I do stages of how to do the garden and on cooking, you can totally achieve that. If that interests you, please like and subscribe. In today's episode, I will be going over fertilizers, which ones to use and what to look for, and how to put coffee grounds into your garden. I will also be utilizing my Korean Bulgogi sauce in making rotisserie chicken and some other Korean side dishes. Fertilizers. There are a bunch on the market, but which ones are the best? I'm going to help you figure that out. I've used a lot over these 20 years and I've got the best yield, and when I apply them also matters. So, you have an all-natural fertilizer that's a mix for doing vegetables and greens. I like to mix that into the compost, usually let it sit a week, then I plant, then I put calcium in the hole and then plant it. Calcium provides really good root strength, and when you have really good strong roots, the plant's going to be the best. It can absorb the best nutrients. So that's why it's important to have a good fertilizer that will add to the soil, not strip from it. What happens is when you use synthetics, it will feed the plant, but it doesn't do anything to the soil, and it's been scientifically proven that you will get a better yield and the plant will absorb more nutrients if it is done organically. So I highly suggest it. And the bugs you want, like ladybugs and stuff like that help your garden to take down aphids and stuff, prefer to be an organic garden because they want to lay their babies in your garden later on in the season. So what I have here are some that's available over the market, but the key things that I want you to look for is the OMRI. To be able to get on that list, you have to have the highest quality ingredients and the most full range, meaning full nutrient. You can't be a partial to be on that list. So look for that OMRI label on the organic product. So bone meal is a calcium. The rock phosphate is great to help out peppers to give you a good yield, and flowers. So when you are done taking all the blossoms off by July 1st, if you're zone 6A, add the rock phosphate because it's going to help make the blossoms come more and promote better root growth. The blood meal is nitrogen. Nitrogen is extremely important for photosynthesis. Hopefully I didn't murder that pronunciation. You ever notice that when your plants get a slight yellow color to the leaves? It's because there's not enough nitrogen intake, because it helps the process to get through and the plant properly feeds. So I have specific berry tone for my berries because usually a higher acid, and you want to keep your berries completely separate from the rest of your garden because not everything can grow in that acidic soil. So I only feed that specific and I get really amazing results, tons of blossoms and everything. So I hope that I have helped you try to figure out which ones are best on the market, what to use and what to get. Adding coffee grounds to your soil is an amazing way of getting nitrogen in. But if you use coffee grounds that have not been spent, and go and you can increase the pH of your soil. So if you test your soil and it's already high, you don't want to add more acid to it. But there are acid loving plants that are okay with it. Tomatoes are not. So I have coffee that I made and it's been spent, so a lot of the acid has been removed, so it's a neutral. You want to add it organically if you can to the soil. What you do is you put a little bit on, you scratch it into the soil, so when it goes through it breaks down and the plant will get what it needs. The microorganisms will also break it down and create a natural fertilizer from it. So I'm going to show you how to add the coffee grounds. Go directly right on the plant, right above it by the stem. And then you're just going to gently rub it into the soil. Pat it back down, smooth it out. Marigolds love it as well, so I will give that some because the marigold is a companion plant which helps, so why not feed it and take care of it? So both are taken care of. Nitrogen will help. Way to go. Wanted to go over a few items that I am using for this rotisserie recipe. Sally approves. So my hot sauce, it was inspired to do the Bulgogi sauce, which it is mainly used for barbecue and thin sliced meat. The seasonings is what's important to implement into the sauce. The main pepper that I used is cayenne, so perfect for an Asian. Avocado oil doesn't taste like anything, can handle high heat, ideal to put onto the chicken. To make life easy, I am going to put the oil and then the seasoning in and then rub it all over the chicken, compared to putting oil on, then seasoning, and then leaving it on there. The oil is going to make a slight barrier to it. Therefore, the seasoning can't penetrate as much. So it is best to infuse the oil with the seasoning and then put it all over. I poured my olive oil into the bowl. Now I'm going to add the bulgogi in the mortise and pestle first, because it will open up the flavors better. With a little bit of added heat, it'll open up the oils, therefore the seasoning will penetrate a lot better. Almost skipped that step. That would have been a sad loss, because that's one of those tricks in becoming a house chef. Make sure to use a mortise and pestle. Add that in. I am going to whisk to make sure everything is consistent. Avocado oil is fantastic, by the way, because it doesn't have issues with our bodies having free radicals, and which inflames our joints and our bellies. So, and it's awesome for high heat and doesn't flavor. So therefore, it is a very universal, can be used on anything. Got my gloves. Oh yeah. About to get messy. So I just gently rub the chicken. I'm gonna use my hands here. Best tool for a chef, that's right. Gotta make sure to get those wings because they're yummy. Flavor them well. I will probably put just a touch more. That way it's really good with the seasoning and therefore be done. It is very important to take the chicken out at least an hour before you're actually going to cook it, so therefore the cooking process is a lot more consistent and therefore you get a much more juicy bird. I have prepped here tying butcher twine around the legs and the wings to keep them in, because when it's rotating you want them flapping around, right? We got a meat probe in and it's ready to rock. It's just gonna sit there and get on the grill here soon. Side dishes. What I am making is pretty cool. I am taking some legume rice, and I am going to basically fry in some Korean chili paste. Basically it's miso meets chilies, so super delicious. Of course I'm going to be using some tamari sauce and garlic, because garlic makes everything better. And when I cook up the legume rice, I'm not just going to do water, boring. I'm going to add vegetable broth. Yeah. I have my hot sauce ready. I will brush it onto the chicken when about 10 minutes left in the cook. That way I get a nice caramelizing of it on there. Yeah. So let me get this going. I'm going to put all of this into a bowl, mix it together, and then I will fry it onto the rice after cooking it normal per instructions by the manufacturer. So need a little bit of avocado oil, because we're frying, right? Start off with that. Because I want this to be the biggest item to be forward, I am going to do a whole entire tablespoon of it. Heaping. I want a good amount of tamari sauce, so I'm doing 1/4 cup. Go right in. Garlic, want to be there but not overpowering, because the chili sauce already has a good amount of garlic in it. But a teaspoon right in. And all I gotta do is just whisk this together. And when it gets to the point where I am done pulling this rice off and drained, I will pour this mixture onto it and fry it right into the rice. My other side item is a Korean favorite, kimchi. I'm gonna make that as like basically a salad on the side. It'll be in a cute little red bowl. Oh yeah, perfect. The legume rice acted like a risotto. It just super absorbed the broth, which is awesome. I had to add in just a touch more water to make sure it cooked to an al dente is what is preferred in order for fry, because remember you're gonna add heat, so it'll cook it all the way through. So I re-whisked my combination here for the sauce to fry into the risotto rice / legume rice. I'm gonna put the heat on low and I will mix it in. The pan is still very hot, so this should have no problem. You just stir. Get everything to be consistently with that sauce we just made in order to fry it into the rice. Oh, you hear it frying? There we go. This is fast. And then what you will do is just allow it to finish absorbing and set it aside. And voila, she's done. Got some cherry chips underneath the chicken. Got it on a medium temperature. It's cooking quite beautifully. Look at that golden skin. Oh yeah. That fun time to taste test. I'm gonna start off with my rice here. very good. Perfectly cooked. That extra frying part cooked the al dente pretty much out. Now, the part you're waiting for, the chicken. Very good. Thank you for viewing today.